Hey there, welcome to MagnetiK Mumma, the podcast where we parent with nervous system wisdom, soul-led grit, and zero shame. I'm Steph, a holistic nurse, writer, and a mum who is keeping it real in the chaos. I'm giving you permission to raise resilient kids without losing yourself, because when you thrive, your kids can too. So let's get into the messy middle and find our magic. Hey, beautiful people, it's Steph here, your MagnetiK Mumma. If you've ever found yourself standing in your kitchen at 6 p.m., hair in a messy bun, that's seen better days, dinner's burning, someone's crying over the wrong kind of pasta, it's not curly, it's not spaghetti, and you can feel your blood pressure doing the Macarena, then this episode's for you, because sometimes it's not the pasta and it's not even the kids. It's your nervous system hijacking the show, taking over, going for a rendezvous. And before you roll your eyes and think, oh, here comes the science bit, hang on. We're going to unpack this with humor, love, and a whole lot of compassion. So bear with me. Last week, I'm at home, my tween's melting down over a school project, the dog's barking at absolutely nothing and scratching her bum on my brand new carpet, and I'm already late for a Zoom call. I can feel it happening. My stomach is nodding, my shoulders are tight and tense, and every cell in my body is yelling, run or roar. And I just take a big, deep breath. I want to be calm. I want to be the conscious parent who diffuses this like a Zen goddess. But instead, I'm a psycho and I snap, and immediately afterwards the guilt hits with that familiar, heavy, why did I just lose it over nothing? Later that night, I sit with it, cacao, a candle, and my journal. It wasn't about the project or the barking dog. This was my nervous system reacting to the chaos and the way it's been wired to do so for decades. I think that I failed, because that's what my natural default is. And I want to say, what an idiot, what a dickhead. I know that's not what I should have done. And I think it's weakness. But I just want to iterate to the mamas out there who have been in this situation and let you know it's a part of our biology. So what's really going on in our body? Let's just break it down a bit into human language. Your nervous system, right? So your nervous system is your body's communication highway. It's constantly scanning for safety or danger. Safety or danger. Am I going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger? Or if I run to that cave, will I be safe? If I sit and freeze, will it just pass me by? So when safety mechanism senses threat, it can flip into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Now, I know you guys have all heard this before. So obviously, prehistorically, in the early days when, there was no tech, AI, or even houses, that was developed to innately and animalistically keep us safe, right? But obviously, 2025, moving into 2026, modern parenting, it has a very different type of saber-toothed tiger, right? So the threat is no longer that tiger. It's the child's scream. It's the cluttered kitchen. It's the feeling that you can't do it. Oh, you're a failure. You're not super mum. You're not the modern woman who can do it. When your child melts down, your amygdala, your brain's alarm system goes, it's chaos. We're unsafe, and floods your body with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate spikes, your breath shortens, your body tightens, because evolutionarily you're preparing to fight off a predator. But there isn't a predator. There's an 11-year-old with a tantrum that her Halloween costume isn't what she ordered. And yet your body can't decipher the difference. And here's the twist. Your child's nervous system is tuned into yours. I know it's a bitch and it's a pain in the ass, but that's the reality. So when you're tense, they're tense. When you're calm, they start to settle. And I just want to tell you a little story, right? So back in my early nursing days, I don't know, believe it or not, I worked in ICU, which is the intensive care unit, baby nurse, partied pretty hard, went out one night, got home pretty late and backed it up and went to work by 7, yeah? I was in the isolation room. I had a patient with meningococcal and they were pretty sick. And I was hungover as all shit. And unfortunately, that was the state of my life at that time. But it did not take away from my skills. I was a brilliant nurse and I always took care of my patients before myself. And I had this patient beautifully, calmly, despite my hangover, in good state. Heart rate was good, not ventilated. I'd changed all the bed, kept their wounds at bay, had all my masking gear on and off as I went in and out the room. Anyway, the next nurse came on and she was a pocket rocket. Her energy was next level. She was like, bzz, bzz, bzz. And then the next minute, as soon as she walked in, the patient turned to shit and their heart rate went up and like everything started going wrong. And I was like, dude, I'm hungover as all crap. And I managed to keep this beautiful patient calm and safe, even though I was hungover and even though, you know, like, I was a baby nurse and the patient was safe and calm. The next person, and because we had to gown in and gown off because, you know, it's meningococcal, it's infectious. And the next person came in and their energy just like set this patient off. So it's the same with our kids. Your energy enters you with a room, right? And so your kids can feel that. So that was the lesson I learned very long ago in my early 20s about energy. At that time, I didn't realize it was nervous system related, but you know, I guess because my calm nature, my hangover just kept me at this kind of constant vibe. And then this hyped up chick walks in and disrupts the energy of the room because it was a closed room. It was meningococcal, right? So you can't just come in and out of this space. People weren't around. We were in a closed room. So as soon as that woman walked in the room with this frenetic energy, the patient just went off chops. So what I'm trying to say is it's the same with your kids in your space at home. When you're calm, they start to settle. And this is what we call co-regulation. And it's one of the most powerful and invisible ways we communicate love and safety. So in the moment when you feel like you've failed, you actually have the greatest opportunity to teach your child nervous system literacy by noticing, pausing, and coming home to your body. It's not woo-woo, it's actually science. And it's an opportunity for us as parents to reframe. And here's the truth. You're not a bad mum because you snapped. You're a human with a highly sophisticated system trying to protect you from overwhelm. And we live in a culture that glorifies productivity and punishes us for pausing and resting. So most parents are living in this survival mode, like that frenetic chick running on caffeine and guilt and wondering why they can't stay calm. I mean, I love coffee, right? But I don't let it overtake my nervous system and I find ways to regulate. If you can't stay calm, it's not like it's an emotional weakness. It's nervous system fatigue. Your body's been pumping stress hormones like it's CrossFit for your cells. And when we start to view our reactivity as data, not drama, everything changes. And we can go from what's wrong with me to, I I'm out of regulation right now. I need a reset. That shift alone is transformational for you and your child. So here's some tools for somatic and soulful regulation. So just to give you something to work with, because I mean, I feel like it's on the internet everywhere, and it's definitely on my algorithm because that's the shit that I look up, right? And nervous system regulation, polyvagal theory, all of this is rooted in science, but it's actually stuff that people have known for, like ancient cultures have known for eons, right? Like the science is just catching up. So here are some tools to help you regulate your nervous system and take the pressure off your brain saying you're failing or you're not a good mum or a good parent, because it's not true. But being aware of how you can flip the switch and regulate yourself is about embodying this type of medicine, which doesn't cost any money. You don't need to go see anyone about it. You can just regulate yourself with some simple tools. So the first one is pause and pulse. So next time you feel that knot or the fire burning, before reacting, place your hand on your heart or your belly, take a big deep breath and say, I am safe right now. And 9 out of 10 times you are. I mean, obviously make sure you are. Like, you don't want your kid running onto the street or something. Like, be realistic. Let your breath match your exhale. So breathe in, same amount, hold same amount, release same amount. 4 to 6 counts, you choose, up to you, whatever your lung capacity is. And what this does is it tells your vagus nerve, it's okay. It's okay, babe. Vagus nerve, we're not in danger. It's just our kid being a kid and it's triggering us. Let's calm down and reel it in, right? So you're not being hard on yourself. You're getting a grip on what is the real picture and you're just toning it down, right? That's number one. Number two, now, I don't care if you're not a Swiftie, but you can shake it off, get that song in your head and like literally shake your body. Think about a dog when they come out of the water and they're like shaking all the water out of their fur. Like, let yourself shake it off and you will instantly feel the stress leave your body. It's like flicking it out. I usually make sure you don't flick it on to anyone because, energy transfer, projection, it's real. But, do it in a safe space. And if that doesn't work, put a song on that you love and have a boogie. Get on down, jiggle your hips, do some qigong. Whatever works is moving the energy that's building up and letting it keep moving and move on out. See ya. So let that release. And that way it doesn't get trapped. And if you really want to help co-regulate with your kids and teach them some tools for regulating themselves, do it with your kids. Turn the music on and dance around the kitchen. My favorite thing to do. And just make it chaotic and fun and laugh the shit out of it. And you know what? Any anger, any frustration blows up in a laughter. All right, that's number 2. Tool number 3, ground and gaze. Okay, this sounds a bit kooky, but sometimes if you're just beyond shaking or having a boogie, you just need something that you can do in public that doesn't make you look like a weirdo, okay? So what you can do is find an object around you. Choose something from nature. That always is beautiful. But anyway, find a color, a texture, or a sound and just anchor your senses in the present moment. So, bring yourself back in to this time and place rather than escalating to and letting the spiral happen, right? It just centers you back in. And this is how you can close the loop on the stress cycles. Number four, if you've had a shit ass day, make sure you do a nighttime reset ritual rather than just zoning out. I know some people think that that's relaxing your brain cells, but there's research saying that vaguing out and just watching stuff and doom scrolling is totally turning your brain to rot. Even if you're choosing good and creating good algorithms, just give yourself a break. Give your nervous system a break. And instead of going on social media, watching TV, anything electronic, just spend 2 minutes checking in with yourself. You can do it in the shower. You can do it before you go to bed. You can put the kids to bed, have a cup of tea, and just go find a quiet spot for a minute and check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how is your nervous system feeling right now? Things that add to the vibe. You can light a candle, you can put your diffuser on, you can use lavender or frankincense, have an awesome warm hot tea or just hot water with lemon and a little tiny bit of honey, and just move or stretch, bit of yoga, just something that helps you tune back into where you're at and how you're feeling and just brings your awareness back to the center. I sometimes like to focus on my heart chakra. I like to use the chakras to move the energy in and out. Sometimes I like to imagine that I'm gifting Mother Earth gratitude or a song and singing thank you for today, even if it was shit. I'm grateful for the chaos because it makes my life interesting. A little reframe, and then imagine roots settling down through the different layers of the earth down to the molten core, and just releasing anything down to Mother Earth and burning it off in the core, and then refilling through the crown chakra with white light, yellow light, any light, and just feeling up each area of your body and fueling it with this beautiful divine energy. And if you're religious, you can use whatever god, goddess, deity, whatever you connect with to refill. Let go and then refill. So, you choose, but whatever works for you, or maybe using these 4 different techniques in 4 different situations, mixing and matching, whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong answer. And if you Googled, there's 100 million other ones. These are the ones that I just thought to present and offer, because our nervous system, and this is something I'm slowly starting to grip, your nervous system is not your enemy, right? And I've been working with my nervous system for a little while now, and I'm still catching myself in old patterns that I was like, where the hell did that come from? And, I find myself having to go back. And I use a few different techniques. I also use guided meditation, which I put my headphones on, and the meditation uses binaural beats to get the theta waves, to get my brain relaxed, and then be suggestive so that I can swim around in my subconscious and find where this looping behavior or feeling or trigger came from, and kind of reparent myself in the sense of letting whatever that space was in that time frame know that that's no longer serving me in my adult life as I am right now. And in doing that, it's reconnecting me and giving myself permission. It's being compassionate, because obviously I formed those patterns and behaviors as a form of survival, but they're no longer serving me. And so I give thanks for doing that and getting me to where I am. And now we can let go and they can relax and I can take over. It's, it's a process, and it's not as easy as it sounds. And it takes time and it's a lot of work. So you've got to create space for it, and you've got to be really kind to yourself and compassionate and allow yourself to do it sometimes and not other times, and then come back to it as a practice. It's always evolving and never perfect. But what the key point I want you to know is that your nervous system is not your enemy. And it's kind of actually your most ancient ally whispering, hey, love, you've done enough. You're safe now, if you can get it to that point. So parenting from a regulated nervous system isn't, as I said, about perfection. It's about repair. It's about catching yourself mid-spiral and saying, okay, I hear you. Let's come together and let's reset this and go from there. So if you take nothing else from today, I just want you to know you're not overreacting. It's your body's overprotection, like, the bouncer coming in to say, hey, remember when this happens? And, and maybe that was true at one point, but you can relearn safety and rewire your neural pathways just by taking one deep breath and recognizing it. You can laugh at yourself. You can release those patterns and start creating micro changes in your mind through neuroplasticity. And when you get a hang of it and your body starts regulating, your kids learn that safety from you. So that was a lot. But I hope if this landed with you, share it with another mum in the messy middle, especially if they've got teens and going through perimenopausal. Welcome to my world. But we're all just nervous systems trying to love each other and do better, and it's not a blame game. It's just adapting and evolving as we change in the seasons of our lives. So I'll see you next time, and maybe we'll talk about co-regulation and how to calm your contagion. But let me see. Until then, breathe deep, soften your shoulders, and just remember you're probably doing better than you think. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to MagnetiK Mumma. Remember, your calm is contagious. Breathe deep, soften your shoulders, and keep loving through the messy middle. I'm Steph, your MagnetiK Mumma. See you next time.